became the enemy, it became clear I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. My focus was changed and I was the one in the closet. I opened my eyes to a dream that'll never die. What was meant to be? G&E. No hate, just positivity. G&E. The best version of me. G&E. My destiny.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Perez. I am the co-founder of a brand called GOOD&EVILLE, along with a buddy of mine named Matt Chadwick. So yeah, I just want to do this quick video here today, explaining what Good&Evil is, the beginnings of Good&Evil. I'm using this great program called StreamYard. Some people have heard the story of Good&Evil, and a lot of people haven't. So really want to take some time to really explain what we're trying to do with the brand and how it all got started. You just watched a little promo video of kind of the beginnings of Good&Evil, and it really all started back in summer of 2020. And just like myself and a lot of other people, we were going through some really tough times in the country, and there's just so much chaos going on, and a lot of the country was divided against each other. I alluded to having arguments with friends and family online, through politics and other social injustices in the world. And it just brought me in a really bad place. And, like I said, I looked in the mirror and I didn't like what I was seeing. So I really wanted to focus on something that would take me to a better place than what I was seeing every day on the news or hearing every day on the news. So I decided to really focus on a happy place, which part of my happy places out there are horror movies. I love the holiday of Halloween. I have so many great memories growing up with friends and family on Halloween Day. Because of all the crazy injustices in the world and how people were being treated, I always felt like a day like Halloween was the one true day that everybody got to be the best version of themselves, or got to represent the true person that they are and wanted to be. And a lot of people weren't accepted for who they are and what they wanted to be. And Halloween was a great day for them to kind of like get by and fake it, I guess. And other people wouldn't judge them as much because, they just thought, oh, it's just Halloween, they're just dressing like that. But a lot of people just felt best, the best version of themselves and most comfortable in their own skin on that day. And so I really thought about, I really wanted to start something or begin the process of something that would bring the whole world together and not have each other at each other's throats. So I thought about Halloween. I thought about creating a place where we can celebrate the holiday every single day of the year. And when I'm talking about, a destination phase of Halloween 365, it goes a lot like this. And I'm going to pull it on the screen right now. Exactly what Matt and I are trying to do with this brand Good&Evil. And I'll get it up here in a second. And let me turn this off here and bring this up. So Good&Evil. Good&Evil is a brand, a web store, an epic future destination, and now actually 2 comics and a music EP titled Chilling, Thrilling Sounds of Good&Evil, but we'll talk more about that in another video. But the destination phase can be described as Halloween 365 days a year, including a theme park, movie theater, convention center, performing arts center, pop culture store, and special effects school. So Good&Evil is meant for everyone to relive the best experiences the spooky holiday has to offer. This concept has been in my head for years, and my buddy Matt has helped broaden the vision on a grander scale. So again, currently Good&Evil is a brand, a web store, 2 comics, an EP, and a dream. So all ideas need to start somewhere. And this is our attempt to take action and put it out to the universe for our dream to become our reality. Along the way in our journey to Good&Evil, we will always strive to promote some very talented people to showcase and offer their creations to the world. This comic showcases industry professionals and students who have dreams of their own in various art fields. Please check out their websites and social media accounts to see more of their amazing gifts. So if you made it this far and are still reading, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for supporting our early efforts. We are taking one step at a time, and will consistently update everyone on our progress. Please subscribe to our mailing list on www.goodandeville.com to keep tabs on our progress. And please consider purchasing merchandise on the site as well. Your purchases will help us manifest our dreams into reality. Thank you, and we look forward to one day greeting you personally at the entrance of Good and Evil. Thankful, grateful, and blessed, Michael Perez and Matthew Chadwick. So that is our main goal in what we want to do with this brand, Good and Evil. It has manifested into other things like comic books and music. However, we're trying to build it from the whole idea from the ground up to get to this destination phase. And I kind of want to go over the whole, it's important to us that people understand that it's just not about a comic book and, being rich and famous, anything like that. We really truly want to provide a destination for the world to, again, be able to leave all the negativity in the past and behind you, and really hopefully provide at least a day or an experience that helps you just get away from the real world that we can talk about, and really just have a great time with friends and family and not worry about politics, religion, all that other stuff that might cause conflict in your lives. So I want to talk about the progression of this brand, and it's been an idea in my head and Matt's for years now. And we have a saying at Good and Evil called "Don't let doubt haunt you," and we let doubt haunt us for the past years and thought that nothing like this could ever happen. Us middle-aged guys, it's a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. And we decided, this can happen, and whether it's one step at a time, one brick at a time, we are determined to work on this for the rest of our lives. And one day, yes, we will have this destination phase. So the idea had to start somewhere, and the progress had to start somewhere. So the first thing we started out with, again, I'm going to show you some of these slides here, and turn this off here. So the first thing that was in my head was, okay, let's have a destination phase right here. And in this picture, kind of represents, in a funny way, we got families, friends, and the Walking Dead, I guess you can call it, or zombies, or the undead, where we wanted to have a place where everybody's welcome, whether you're alive or dead. So in a joking way, I had this image in my head that this is a destination, everyone's welcome, we're all going to get along, no one's eating brains, no one's out to get anybody. So this was the first vision I had in my head of this destination called Good and Evil. It came up with a logo a few years back, and a really crude logo there. And again, we want to manifest our dreams, so we wanted to start off with some type of logo. And this is our first attempt at this logo. And thank God my wife has a lot of skills when it comes to graphic design, and she's made logos in the past. So the first step in this whole Good and Evil brand was we need a new logo. So my wife is the founder and creator of a graphic design company called Applebox Creative, and my wife Lisa was able to come up with this idea for us, and I absolutely loved it. So that day in the late July that we started all this was the first step, was okay, we need to come up with a pretty cool logo, and I think it turned out very well. And from there, now, I got a logo, and then we got our domain name, GOOD&EVILLE.com. That wasn't taken, thank God. So we have a logo, we have a domain name, and now, again, my wife Lisa, she's worked on websites, she's developed websites, so she started developing the Good and Evil website. So, and we had access to taking our ideas and our brands and putting it on merchandise. So the first thing we did is, once we got the logo, is we made a t-shirt. So we have a t-shirt with the logo on there, and the journey that is beginning with to our destination, to Good and Evil. So we're really proud of the fact that, okay, now we got a logo, we got a website, we had a domain name, we can start doing some merchandise. So what else we can do? What's the next step in building this brand? So in our minds, we had this idea of a destination. So we wanted to create characters or mascots for our destination. So it all starts with, what's some ideas that we can come up with. So one night I was thinking, okay, so good and evil. So sometimes people think of, the color red as the evil color and color blue is good. So I first started off thinking, okay, so we got red and blue, good and evil. What about yin and yang symbols? So I looked up online and saw and typed in red and blue, yin and yang symbols. And the first image that I saw was this image right here. And then immediately after looking at this image, I thought, wow, that kind of looks like a mask a little bit. So, so the next step in figuring out what characters we're going to make. So took a blank white mask, took the idea of the yin and yang symbols and started creating some ideas. So a lot of different ideas came about in this, making this mask, but this is the idea that really resonated with both of us and we stuck with us. So started designing the mask really crudely on an iPhone. We didn't have any big digital imaging programs to work on this. So I used my iPhone to go ahead and start messing around with ideas. So went ahead, started doing a yin and yang symbol on a blank mask. And at first we had the mouth on there and it just looked kind of creepy, looked kind of weird. So I just decided to take the the lips off and have the mask idea. So it turned out this way. This is the one character, and we needed to have both characters. We had the yin and yang type symbols there. So this character we decided to call G, and this character is E. So again, just opposite color schemes on a yin and yang symbol on a blank mask. And then because we were thinking about mascots, we're thinking about, these characters, at the entrance of our good and evil destination, where they're going to be there to greet people and to be kind of like the ringmasters, like of a circus. Ringmasters at a circus, kind of controlling the vibe of the whole interaction. And then so decided to come up with, okay, let's put some top hats on these characters. Let's see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like on G, and then we did the opposite color schemes for E, and then eventually we came up with this. So we got G and E. They look like old circus ringmasters with a Victorian look on them. They got their canes and the top hats, and we really dug this concept right here. So now we're like, great, we got some mascots now. We got a pretty cool look that we think is a good look, and it has some contrasting, colors of balance of good and evil and other things. So, so we decided, okay, what's their story? So we thought of a main character that is the reason why these two characters were created, and we wanted to come up with the big boss person. And so we had to think of, okay, what are we going to do? We got to think of another character to create. So we kind of went the same route, and I wanted to stay away from religious symbols and things like that. So I looked up what are some of the most powerful symbols on the planet right now, and it came up with a couple different ideas on there, as you can see on the screen. And the symbol of Om really resonated with me. Not necessarily what the symbol looked like at first, but the meaning behind it was harmony with the universe, and that's exactly the types of things we wanted to represent. Our brand was, okay, harmony with the universe. How do we bring harmony within the universe and bring people together? And then after looking up Om, we found the symbol of Om, and it came up looking like this. And the first thing that came to my mind looking at the symbol is, wow, that looks like the number 3 right there. And the definition, or what is the power of Om, is a great tool for manifesting positive things in your life. And that's exactly what I was striving to do with the brand, is want to manifest positive things, not negative things. So this symbol really resonated with me, and I thought it was a great representation of our brand. So another thing with Om, chanting Om calms your mind and helps you bring in positive energy into your body. You can control your anger by chanting Om on a regular basis. Stress lies in your mind, And as I take this off here, it just helps you relieve that stress. And then there's a lot of anger that I had built up in me, and I just really felt like this was meant to be, and this is what it really needed to represent our brand. So we have the symbol Ohm, and again, here's a closer look at what the symbol looks like. So like we did with G&E, we got out the blank mask template, put on the symbol on there, and like I said, the number 3 really stuck with me because I thought about Halloween right away, and that's one of the main things is we want to celebrate Halloween every day. So I wanted to add a 1 in there somehow. So 31, October 31st. So I just simply added the purple stripe on there. And the whole reason or the color scheme for this character that we call the Elder was red and blue make purple. So we wanted to come up with that color scheme for our main character, the Elder, and this is what he turned out to look like. And we considered the Elder being this being, and if you read our comics, you'll learn a lot. You'll learn, what you need to know about this Elder, how he came about, and pretty much this character right here is the boss of all things in the world there, as far as he's got tons of power, and this character is striving to find the perfect balance inside himself of, because we all have some good and evil inside us, and the beginning of this character was mostly evil. And not to spoil the story, but the journey of the Elder is finding that perfect balance. Like we all are trying to find our perfect balance in our life. So we're not always raging, and we're not, tipping the scale to being more negative. So this character really is embodiment of what I was going through, and what I was striving to find in my life was that balance in life where I wasn't angry all the time. So this is what the character looks like. And again, we're really super proud of how these 3 characters turned out. So again, this is the Elder, and then we've got G&E right there. So now we got, our brand is progressing. We got 3 mascots. We got a website. We got some merchandise. So how do we get this story across to the masses and start getting people excited about our idea? So being a big comic book fan for pretty much my whole life, I enlisted some great advice from some people in the comic book world, and they said, you know what, why don't you make a comic book about this? And 1, you have the rights for your characters, and 2, you can tell, you can begin the story of these characters and what you're trying to do with the brand. So one of the first things I did was, okay, Matt and I were not the best drawers in the world. There are a lot of more talented people out in the world that can really take our vision from our ideas and make it into reality through a really solid presentation in art. So the first person I thought about enlisting in our comic book idea was a gentleman by the name of Dylan Andrews. So I'm going to go ahead and put up some examples of Dylan's work right here. And I'm going to change this banner right here to Mr. Dylan Andrews. And we're going to change what brought me to really seek out Dylan. So Dylan Andrews, you can find his work on www.makecomicscool.com. Now, Dylan Andrews is a independent comic book creator that has many different creative characters that he's created in his, whether you want to call it the Dylan universe or the Archive universe. He's come out with quite a few different comic book properties on Kickstarter, and he's been very successful with building a universe of his own characters. So I was really inspired by Dylan's drive to create his own characters outside of the big corporate mainstream characters. And I really love the look of this particular one. This is the first character that I was introduced of Dylan's work, and his name is Archive, the Warhood. And I really was drawn to the look of this character. And growing up, I was a big Marvel fan. I loved Moon Knight, and obviously love Batman, things like that in DC, but I really love the look of this character. So this is how I first saw Dylan's work, and I just sought out his books, and I really enjoyed the books that he came out with. So one example is this one right here. This is Warhood. Another character that he's created is called Cyst, and being a big horror fan, I really liked his style of how he drew his characters that he created. and just the cool backstories of his characters. Another character team he's done is called the Oppressors, and then Versus, and he's got another one. He's got quite a few properties out right now, but again, www.makecomicscool.com. You can see all the great work. So Dylan was a no-brainer on somebody that we wanted to seek out to see if he would help us with the look of our characters in our first comic book that were coming out, that we wanted to release on Halloween, of course, in the year 2000. And throughout the whole pandemic, I got this mask from Dylan of his Warhood character. I just really thought it was a cool design, so that was my mask of choice during the whole "you got to mask up" phase of 2020. So I got to thank Dylan for that too. So one of the first things that Dylan made for us is this little zombie hand right here. So the zombie hand, he made it look really cool, and I thought of that's another motto is dreams never die. So this dream has been in my head of having good and evil for so long, and I just wanted to carry this on and go, you know what, dreams never die. We can start this. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, or whatnot, is you can start working on your dreams, whenever you stop letting doubt haunt you, and you just move forward with what you want to do. So came up with this first idea of dreams never die with an image that Dylan created for us, and we started selling these T-shirts to get people excited about, the comic and things like that. So we created a special limited edition run of T-shirts that we called the Dream Team shirts, and these Dream Team shirts were purchased by some amazing people in the world. Of course, mostly our friends and family, because we're really trying to get the Good and Evil brand out to the rest of the world, and we've got some great support from friends and family to help us start the brand recognition. So these were very popular. They sold out really quick, and again, we're super grateful for the people who believed in our dream at the beginning and continue to believe in us. So the first image comic book cover that we have for our issue 0, we were starting with issue 0 because typically in the comic book world, issue 0s represented the origin stories of the main characters. So we wanted to start off with Good and Evil issue 0, and this is what it looked like through Dylan's artwork right here. So this is the first cover for Good and Evil issue 0, and it's just a stunning image of our character, the Elder. Here's what it looks like without the trade dress on it. And the other amazing part of this is not only is this Dylan's artwork, but the coloring was done by a professional colorist who's worked in Marvel, Image Comics, Valiant, a bunch of independent comics, and his name is Thomas Mason. So right now I'm going to take off this banner really quick of Dylan's, and then I want to show you an example of the amazing work of Thomas Mason. Now, Thomas Mason is another guy that I stumbled upon. He happened to be on Instagram, and not only is he a professional colorist, but he is a phenomenal artist, inker, and penciler. So here's an example of how I was introduced to Thomas. Thomas, again, he worked for Marvel on various projects, and he was in charge of doing an anniversary issue of the best-selling comic of all time, which was X-Men #1, and that came out in the early 90s. So Marvel commissioned Thomas to do the recoloring of the iconic X-Men #1 issue, and this is what it looks like. So on the top row is what his coloring looks like of the iconic covers of X-Men #1, and then Thomas, being just a brilliant creative artist in his own right, he went ahead and did a continuation of this iconic picture. So he added the X-Force team, that if you connect the X-Force bottom picture with the top picture, it just extends to this beautiful image, a continuous image of some more iconic mutant characters in the Marvel universe. So super excited to see this, and so it was a no-brainer to see if Thomas would help out with our dream project, and he was very gracious enough to do the coloring of our first cover right there of what Dylan provided. So I'm going to go back and show you that cover again. So this is Thomas Mason's coloring and Dylan Andrews penciling and inking of it. So gorgeous, gorgeous image. And again, it just blew us away that we're going to have professional artists take our characters and bring it to life in a comic book form. So, yes, very, very, very grateful for their contributions on that first issue. So I'm going to show you some more examples of Dylan's work that he's provided for us on our comic books. So again, this was issue 0 right here. So this is an image of our current book, which is issue half. So we're building to issue 0, then issue half, and then early mid 2022, we're going to be doing issue number 1. That's going to conclude our story arc of these characters and what we're really striving to do with these characters in our destination phase. So this is what Dylan has provided for us on the issue, our current issue, which is available on GOOD&EVILLE.com. And so what we did with this issue is we did a flip book on this. So if you're going to read the story of G's origin first, and then you're going to flip the book over, and then you're going to see the cover for E on the other side, which is going to continue the story and bring it all together in the middle of the book. So again, this is Dylan Andrews' contribution to our current book. And Dylan did the interior artwork for the story of the Elder in issue 0, and he's done these special covers for us for issue half. So when you combine all those images together from issue 0 and issue half, you get this beautiful continuation picture of all 3 of our main characters. And look how stunning that looks. So in this particular issue, we do have a variant cover that has this image on here that features Dylan's work and colorist Brian Magnay, another accomplished, amazing colorist, just like Thomas. Again, what we want to do is we wanted to highlight some amazing talent out there as we go along, and to get our brand out there. We want to take a lot of great talent along with us to showcase their beautiful work. So this is that beautiful image. If you combine all 3 of those separate covers together, this is what you're going to get. So again, blown away with the contributions from these professionals. So moving on to another artist that helped us out with our first book on issue 0 is an artist by the name of Adelso Corona. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out this over here. I'm going to put Adelso's name on there, and I'm going to show you examples of Adelso's artwork. So the first images I saw of Adelso Corona, again, he was another independent artist. He is a professional inker by trade in the comic book industry. He is currently working on huge books, working on the X-Men characters for Marvel. He's working on the Spawn universe for Image Comics and Todd McFarlane. He's an inker for amazing penciler Brett Booth, but not, again, just like Thomas, who can color, he can ink, he can pencil. Adelso, even though he's a professional inker by trade, he is an amazing artist. So here are some examples of commissions that Adelso has done for me over the years. Again, somebody that I had stumbled upon a couple years ago, and of course throughout the years he's grown his talent and his his notoriety through working with, every year becoming bigger and bigger in the industry. So here's some beautiful examples of characters that I love. And you got Moon Knight in the top left corner. You got Darth Nihilus from the Star Wars universe. And then the bottom left is a character named Rach Taldy, of another amazing friend and artist that we'll be talking about in a little while here. But this is an example of what brought me to got me to notice Adelso's work. And here's some other examples of some cool things that he's done. Just absolutely gorgeous. Adelso's worked on the character Bloodshot, who's had a movie out with Vin Diesel. This is a Valiant Comics title, and that's his artwork on there. He's done other iconic characters, on doing commissions for people like Spawn. You got Snake Eyes on the bottom left corner. You got Skeletor on the bottom. but just a stunning, super detailed artist. And so very, very grateful for this contribution that he did for us on our first issue of Good and Evil. He was very gracious to provide this image for us. And again, Thomas Mason did the coloring of this image. So very, very, very grateful to have professionals help us little itty bitty comic book creators help get our work out to the world. So Adelso, Thomas, Dylan, thank you so much. It's just beautiful artwork that we'll have that's going to represent us for the rest of our our careers with these people and in this brand. So so I want to talk about another amazing artist who helped us with our first comic book and our current book. And his name is Mr. Shelby Robertson. So let me show you some examples of Shelby's work that I was introduced with long time ago. So way back in 1993, 94, 95, around that era, I was introduced to a book called Black Flag that was created by Dan Fraga. And Shelby Robertson was a teenager at the time, working in the studios of Extreme Studios for Image Comics. And Extreme Studios was an image run by artist and creator Rob Liefeld, who was the co-creator of Deadpool. And Shelby was one of the artists that was recruited to be a part of Extreme Studios as a teenager, along with Dan Fraga and just a plethora of other amazing artists at the time. So this was the first published work that Shelby did, and this showed up in an issue of Black Flag. And I just thought that the art was it just blew me away looking at it. And then I wouldn't see Shelby's work for decades later when I went to a comic book convention in it was in Chicago, and he had a bunch of horror movie icon artwork that I purchased from him, and not knowing that this was the same Shelby Robertson who provided the amazing artwork back in the 90s. So once I realized, saw, even Shelby's current talent, I just wanted to follow him, and I saw some amazing independent books that he created outside of the major industry comic book companies like DC and Marvel. So on the tag right there, it shows you how you can find some of Shelby's work. He has an amazing character named Rage Tality that I just fell in love with from the first time I saw that character. And so yeah, his art is stunning. So I'm going to show you some more examples of what drew me to Shelby as an artist. So this image right here on the left is a iconic cover from Civil War #1, which again, if you guys recognize Civil War, that was the movie that Marvel made a few years back. But this Civil War image right here was done in the early 2000s, which was written by Mark Millar. And this artwork on the left this cover was done by another amazing artist by the name of Michael Turner, who has since passed and has left a huge legacy of inspired other artists, to be comic book artists and for their profession. So just inspiration to a lot of people. So I just really loved that cover when I first saw it, and the story is amazing too. So then I asked Shelby if he would do a commission for me of taking some other characters that I absolutely love, and if he can recreate an homage to that cover and add some characters that I really love. So on the right is Shelby's homage recreation of the Civil War cover that shows people like Spawn on there in the top right, Wolverine, another version of Wolverine, Moon Knight's in there. His character on the bottom left, that if you're facing it, you're looking at it, is his Rage Tality character, and a bunch of other image characters from the 90s that show up in his piece. So very, very grateful for Shelby's doing that commission for me. So again, Shelby is the person who suggested that we do the comic book for our characters, and he was very gracious to provide artwork for that first comic book. And here's his iconic cover of our issue 0 right there, and it just absolutely was stunning right there. I'm going to take this tag off here really quick, so I want you to see the bottom of this. So on the bottom of this picture, these are some of the iconic characters that I loved growing up, and I asked Shelby if he can add those character hands on the bottom. And he absolutely did, and it looks amazing. So this is another variant cover of our issue 0 that was done by Shelby Robertson. And a beautiful thing about Shelby is that he continued to work with us on issue 1/2 that just came out. And he provided these images. Not only did he provides the interior art of this one. Dylan did the interior art for our first book, and Shelby's doing the interior art, or has done the interior art for issue 1/2. Here's an example of some of the covers he did for us on that. So this is G right there. And I'm going to take the banners off here for a second here. So I want you to see as much of the image as possible. So this is our cover of G. So again, you're going to flip the cover over for our current issue, and then you're going to see the story of E. So this is his beautiful, beautiful images he's done for us on our characters G and E. And then if you flip the book open and look at the covers, this is what it's going to look like. This beautiful, beautiful cover that he did for us. And again, he does the interior art of our issue 1/2 book, and it is stunning, absolutely stunning. And again, you can get that on GOOD&EVILLE.com. So this is an example of what Shelby's done for us in our brand. And I want to show this right here too, even though I put it on the banner. This is Ragetality right there. That's his current character that he's working on right now. And there's his Instagram tag up there if you want to look up his work. But yes, 94 is the name of the comic, and Ragetality is Ragetality's War number 1 is his extension of the 94 universe, and you can find that right here at Indiegogo.com and just type in 94 Ragetality's War, and you'll be able to help support his work and to see more of his outstanding work. So those are the 3 main artists. So like I was alluding to, and like we showed you at the beginning of this whole video, was that if we have a platform to help bring other people out there and to come along on the ride, the Good and Evil, and to help showcase some great talent out there, we also enlisted some talent of some college students who live near us or going to college to be graphic designers, art majors, and whatnot. So we were very gracious to have some highly talented people help us with our first book, who provided some fan art for us. So the first book doesn't have a lot of story to it. And again, Dylan did the artwork on that, but we had some amazing, talented college students and current high school students who helped make our comic book dream come true by adding some beautiful art pieces in there. So I'm going to show you some of those pieces right now. So the first image I'm going to show you is from artist Christian Armando Perez, who just happens to be my son. I'm just going to throw that out there. Very talented. And here's an example of one of the fan art pieces he did of our elder right there. So absolutely gorgeous work that he did for us, and very proud of his work, and very proud that he contributed to our first book right there. Another college student, her name is Grace Maringo, and I'm going to go ahead and put her image on here. So again, these are different representations of the art style of all these amazing artists right here. So it was so cool to see their interpretations of our characters, and again, they really brought our characters to life in their own way. So Grace, thank you so much for your contribution. It looks amazing. Next image is going to be by student Miles Honus, and let me go ahead and put his name up there too. So Miles provided this cool image. Again, I love the different art styles that they did for us, and I really, really, really dug their interpretations right there. So that's Mr. Miles Honus right there. Next image I'm going to show you is from Jackie Gemby, another college student who's going to school for 3D art, 3D modeling, and also graphic design. So here is an example of Jackie's. Now Jackie took this image that I had in my mind at the beginning of the inception, I should say, of Good and Evil. Was I had this iconic thing in my head of, okay, again, the undead and the living going to Good and Evil, our destination. And Jackie came up with this beautiful, beautiful image for us. So thank you so much, Jackie. You really captured the essence of what we were really wanting to go for as far as representing our brand right there. So that was a gorgeous piece that Jackie did for us. And then the next image I'm going to show you is from a current high school student. Her name is Veronica Moore, and this is a cousin of mine that since grade school I've been in awe of her artwork. So here's another interpretation of our characters G and E, and then go ahead and put Veronica's name up here. But this is more of like a chibi anime style of our characters, and I'm just again blown away from the talent that Veronica has. And again, she contributed this piece to our first comic book, and thank you so much, Veronica. It looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, I really wanted to show you the progression of our comic book, and then in future videos I'm going to talk to you guys about the music that was inspired, and another cool surprise project that we're going to be a part of that I can't wait to let you guys know about it. And again, it's working with more and more industry leaders in the comic book world that I am so excited to talk to you about. But I'm going to wait a little while before I bring that out to the open there. So let me go ahead and take this away here real quick. Get rid of that. And going to get rid of this over here. And then you can see my mug for a little bit longer here. So, so it was very important for me to, for people who are just now getting on board with finding out about good and evil. I've done videos in the past that talk about the things that I just talked about, but I'm really grateful for this StreamYard for having this great software for me to be able to even more clearly show you what we're trying to do with our brand. So again, we want a destination phase, and we know that it's going to take a while to get there, and we're building our good and evil universe from the ground up. So again, we've got the logo, we have the website, we have domain name, we have merchandise that you can get on goodandevil.com, and you can see the banner on the bottom that's been going through the whole video here. And again, I'm going to talk about the music in a later video, but you can get a preview of it by checking it out at goodandevil.bandcamp.com to see the five track EP that we have that's inspired by the first comic book that we came out. So we have some amazing, talented musical artists that are bringing our comic book to life through their interpretation of the story. So that can be found on the bottom there, and also on Spot. You can stream the album on Spotify and Apple Music. So in just a year and a half, we've built everything from the ground up as far as the comic book universe and the music. And our next steps are, we want to get some professional cosplay going with our characters. We want to do some volunteer work in the community with having our characters out there. We're just trying to get the brand name out there and really model and represent what we're trying to do with our whole brand. Also, we have a short film that we want to get to, because the whole thing about going through all these multimedia aspects of what we're doing, comic books, movies, music, is we're trying to get the word out to as many people as possible. So we really appreciate, if you share this information with other people. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And again, we've only been around for a year and a half, but we have bigger dreams, and it's really been just a blast. And we're very grateful to be able to have something to focus on, a positive thing to focus on, along with our day jobs. We still have day jobs, Matt and I, but this is not a job for us. This is a passion. And to be able to work with friends, family, industry leaders to help getting our brand out, these are dreams come true. Being comic book fans, movie fans, horror fans, our whole life. I can't tell you how gratifying this whole thing is. And then the support we've gotten through our current comic book. We went on Kickstarter, and it was backed by just over 50 amazing people who got us funded within 2 weeks of the beginning of the campaign. So, we have some really great supporters out there, and you know what, we're looking for more people to hear about us and to see the other talented people that we're bringing on board on our brand, and the college students, the other professional artists, the musicians. There's so many people that have brought this comic book and our brand to life in a short amount of time. I do also want to mention Comics Wellspring. It's a printing company that specializes in making comic books, and they're based out of Plymouth, Michigan. So Comics Wellspring, I'm going to put their name up here really quick. They're just phenomenal. They brought our comic books to life. They just have such quality products out there that help bring our comic books to life. And let me show you a little banner for them too. So yeah, they do comics, posters, paperbacks, business cards, flyers. They do tablecloths. They do professional presentations for people who want to, do presentations at conventions and things like that. But they make such a solid product. They made our comic books look so good. The quality of the paper they used. They do foil covers for their comic books. They just do a heck of a job. And again, they're another vital part to making us look good right now. So Comics Wellspring, which is an extension of Greco Printing in Plymouth, Michigan, has been such a great supporter of ours, and we can't thank them enough for their contribution to our brand. So that's what I'm just gonna conclude with that right now. So again, I really want to get the story of what started Good and Evil, what we're trying to do with Good and Evil, what some of the things we have out there currently with Good and Evil. And this is just the beginning, folks. And I'm excited to do other videos in the future to show you, talk about the music, the great people who helped us with that. And then to talk about the other secret comic book project that we're working on. And then, again, look out for issue number 1 that's going to come out in early to mid 2022. And then at the time when I can talk about the film and the people who inspired that, we'll keep you informed. Again, follow us on all the social medias, follow us on our website, and to see all the exciting things that we got going on. So again, we're looking for people to spread the word. The more people who know about us, the more people will help us make this dream a reality. So I hope everybody digs the idea of having a Halloween 365 destination that has all those amazing things that we're talking about. But bottom line is, we want to have a destination for people to be the best version of themselves, and to not, to get rid of all the negativity in the world. And we want to play our part as best as we can to bring harmony to the universe. So that is that. Again, my name is Mike Perez. I thank you so much for watching this video. And again, I'm looking forward to greeting you guys personally at the entrance of Good and Evil. So again, thank you. Be safe. And it's Thanksgiving week. I have so much to be thankful for, and I'm thankful for you guys for even watching this. So take care and be safe.